Hi everybody, welcome to G4G here on YouTube. Today we're taking a look at Lucio in Heroes of the Storm. And we're going to be taking a look at a recent match that I did with him that worked out extremely well. And I just wanted to show you how the talents play out and everything. My last video I reviewed him and I gave you a talent spread. And I wanted to show you exactly how that happened. So here, on level 1, I did increase the base movement speed bonus of crossfade speed boost to 20%. My team is myself doing the healing. We have a Gazlo, a Nova, a Murky, and a Nub. Wow, that was hard to say for some reason. On the opposing side, we have a Nova, a Kale, an Uther, a Karazim, and a Dahaka. So they have double support, which is really obnoxious. And that's been happening lately. I actually had a match yesterday where the enemy team had a Tyrande and we had nobody on our side that was healing. And I thought that was kind of ridiculous. I know that is true of warriors, that if there is a tank on one side, you'll have a tank on the other. So I didn't reveal the Nova right there because I was wall sliding. But I made up for it by using my speed boost to get ahead of her, and I body blocked her. Now, unfortunately, you cannot see my circle here, nor can you see my talents and see when I'm switching. Well, okay, there's my speed because I have the green trails. I think if I switch to heal, yeah, there's the healing. So at this point, I know Anub's alone, so I'm going to go up to him and see what's going on with him. Give him a little bit of healing. And it's unfortunate you don't see exactly what I see in the match with the numbers and everything. But it's actually good I rotated up because up here is where the first shrine is. I see the Gazlo coming up, so I boosted him thinking he was going to go for the fountain, but instead he's going to lay some turrets, so I'm healing him instead. I heard the Dahaka, so I immediately went to boop him. Couldn't do anything for the Gazlo over there. But here I am staying extremely mobile in case the enemy Nova shows up. Which, her standing still really fooled me over there. I thought that was a clone. She's really, really faking me out over there because she's playing stupid. And that legitimately faked me out. I thought that was a clone. So here I don't have my team, so I'm just working on a orb. Switch back over to healing for myself and the Anub. That time I ran into the Nova. And I used my speed and my heals to go in on her. Kill her. Could have stayed on the Karazim there. Got the Dahaka instead. Amped it up to provide healing for everybody. So now, at this point, I'm on what I call the Boop Quest, which is chase the base, hit 20 enemy heroes with Soundwave to increase its arc. And believe me, you want to do that quest. It is amazing as to what happens to his Q when you complete that quest. And I actually completed both quests extremely easy in this match. The next quest will be coming up soon. Here again, I pick out the Nova, use the speed to go in on her. And at this point, I go with healing. And I amp myself up, allowing me to go ahead and win the fight. And I kind of B-stepped her a little bit there. That was douchey. I've B-stepped her a lot. That was super douchey. But she could have bailed. So at this point, I jump back into the fight. I switch over to healing, and I amp everybody up. I boop him out of the way and get a kill. Here I'm not speed boosting anybody until now, just to get him to the fountain. I knew nobody was behind us, so I was focusing on the healing rather than the speed. I knew Gazlo was a little low, so I just followed him to his camp. Spoiler alert, my only nemesis actually winds up being Kale. Surprisingly, the Nova was no threat. It was only the Kale. And that is probably because I misplayed a few things with him, but more on that in a moment. So we are winning 5 kills to 1 at this point. I've still gone We Move Together and Chase the Base. I've now picked up the Party Mix quest, which is having people around me for 8 minutes. Will boost the range of my songs, and that is healing and speed. And if I could pause this for just a moment. Normally, Lucio's aura is probably about this big, so it's going to go from Lucio to maybe almost to the rubble. And, well, about halfway to the rubble. When I complete the quest, it's going to be almost the entirety of the screen, minus the 4 corners. As a matter of fact, my sight vision over here, you see in the darkness, that's about as big as the aura is going to get. That's going to be my circle. That's why I picked that quest. So there, I thought maybe she was in the smoke vent over there because of the clone. So that's why I booped over there. And I like to just boop anything when I'm on the quest. So I will dive in and sacrifice a little bit of hit points even to just complete that if I can. Here I'm speeding Gazlo away from those two. And that's why I said in my previous video that speed is effective healing when it comes to Lucio in this game. Doesn't necessarily happen in Overwatch, but it does happen here. So I boop some people off the chase. Decide to let the Karazim go. That was unfortunate. I crossed up to a Kalphus firebomb over there. Now at this point, looking at the stats, their healing is 13 and 11, and mine's 22. So I'm almost out healing both of them combined. Let alone one-on-one competition there. Now unfortunately we don't have a lot of the team here, so we do lose this particular John Cena. Here I am setting up in the base just to try to bait the Punisher over. So they have 16 and 12. I have 26. Just toggling around here between speed and healing. Just trying to keep everybody in range, get some boops when I can. And at this point, it almost starts to look like they're making a comeback because they get heroics before we do. And they've taken out a nub. Here, I'm trying to catch up to him to get healing on him immediately after the fireball hits, the pyroblast. Get another boop. Let's see if I've completed the quest yet. So my chase the base is already done. My party mix is almost all the way done. So my booping is already fixed and I don't even have my heroics yet. You can see, you know, Lucio can play a little aggressive. Because he can get out if need be. Or just heal through it. I think we lose this camp right below us here, which is really sad. Nova should have dropped the clone there to give us vision. This move coming up surprises me, is this Anub goes in on his camp to stop them from going anywhere, but then leaves it. And Lucio's not exactly going to do that alone. I kind of try, but here I am just catching up. Got the... There's my heroic. Got the big shield to make sure we completed the kill. I cut off the Uther. And give him a little beast up for his troubles. At this point, we are still losing. And we are now ahead only 2 kills. Give an amp up for this camp. Blow everybody back into the fish puffer. And that, when I got that Nova kill right there, that surprised the hell out of me. I could not believe the Nova was just standing there. But then again, as I now see this on the replay, that Nova is kind of stupid. So a lot of our heroics are down for this, from 3/4 to half of a minute. Mine's coming up. Here I get stunned, but I back out to the Anub. I'm like, help. Try to keep myself and the Anub up a little bit. Boot people back. Did that just in case there was follow-up to that Nova heroic. It's a good thing I did, because this Nova is trying to get aggressive on ours. Here, this is where I misplayed this. I should have used my speed, and if I had it, I should have tried to amp it up and outrun the Pyro. So that was my first death. And as you can see, my party mix is complete, and my chase the base is complete. And we're only at level 13. But we're now ahead 12 to 8 in the kills, and the experience has just about caught up. My healing is 46 compared to their 30 and 18. So I'm almost healing more than their entire team with 2 healers. Obviously, with an Uther, the Kharazim's going to go aggressive, but still, that's just nice. And it kind of shows you the power of Lucio. Here we get the Punisher. I'm back in time for the fight. My Let's Break It Down is going to be up pretty soon. I like the fact that the replay allows me to focus on my character now. Used to be you would always have to target your character whenever you'd lose them. Now I could just double click on myself and it follows me. That boop, I was happy about putting those 2 up against the back. Again, use my shield just to make sure that my team felt aggressive so that they can get this kill. Up next is the Tahaka again. Try to body block him. Now there is one unfortunate thing with Lucio, is that if you're close to a wall when you're trying to set up for the body block, you're just going to allow each other to pass each other like ships in the night. Here I knew we had the Nova cut out, so I wanted to be Stepper Corpse again. So it occasionally can backfire to set up Lucio for body blocking if a wall or structure is near you, but he's great for doing it in wide open lanes. Here I go and pick up the Anub. I'm speeding him along so that hopefully he outruns it, but it's actually good to know, now seeing that on the replay, that I would not have been able to outrun that Pyroblast before. So it looks like I was going to die regardless, unless I had my Break It Down. That's comforting. Here, I see Dahaka's head. Originally, I didn't see who had vision on him. Then I see Gazlo's head poking out, so I wanted to come down to help him out. Switch to speed to get on the other side of him. Boop him back. We get the kill. Switch over to healing. Do the shield. That was almost stupid as I booped him into the spot, but we still get the kill. I know the Nova was real, and I kind of beast up her a lot again. So at this point, for my talents, we know the 2 quest talents. We moved together. Did sound barrier. I picked up back in the mix because of Uther. I consider this my anti-Valera talent, but because of Uther, I wanted to use that. And here I did Rejuvenacia, which says, while Amp It Up is active, Crossfade's healing boost heals for an additional 3% of the maximum target. That's kind of to help a nub. Basically, when I boost my healing, it gets boosted that much further. At this point, looking at the stats, I have 62 escalating rapidly, so we'll say 63 to their 37 and 23. So I'm now ahead. I'm now beating 2 healers. That's how good Lucio is. If you play him right. Does he have an offensive spec if there's another healer and you decide to do offensive things? I don't really know, and I don't really think so. I don't think he's as crippled as Morales, but I think he's a little useless on offense. Better to have him be the healing here. I got hit with the Dahaka silence, which is kind of smart. I've really been enabling my team in this match, and that's not a bad choice to go for me. Here I'm just kind of hanging. My aura is so big, if it looks like I'm far in the back, I am, but I'm still healing the Anub up there. And this Anub is divey. Like, he is super ballsy. He stays in a lot. Like, I keep trying to go east over here, back towards our base, and give him a hint to follow, and he just kept staying. Again, he goes back in. And I'm just sitting there in the middle of schizophrenia going healing speed. Because I want to back out, but this Anub is staying in. And here, I boost us away from everybody. Only Karazine's going to be able to keep up with that shit. And that's where his speed is so good. And why I call it effective healing is we got out of there quick. And they couldn't stay with us. Here, they surprisingly try to gank us at our camp. I use the shield nice and early, but still well timed. We get a kill on the Nova again. At this point, I want this fucking Kale. And I slide right past him to stay in front of him. This Karazim, I think I'm going to lose to, so I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. I didn't have confidence in that fight, so I left. Unlike the Nova fight where I stayed in, which was slightly risky, this one I was pretty sure I was going to lose because of the self-healing on him. And I thought I would not be able to out-damage him, so I just decided to go. Here we got a March of the Murlocs coming. We're now up 3 levels, and we're up 14 kills. Looking at my talents, I went with Bossa Nova, reduced the cooldown of sound barrier to 30 seconds, but the shield now decays over 4. Definitely worth it. Again, I'm trying to get the team out. I got myself through Nova's ultimate there. And got around Uther because of the speed. Booped him off of Nova, but Nova stays there. But Uther pays for his arrogance. Don't know why Uther stayed in that fight. Here I did a Lucio Overwatch technique. I boosted the speed. To get us there, it's what Lucio's often do in Overwatch, especially at the beginning of the match. They boost the team to the objective if they're defending. Yeah, see, I was like so late on that one. I wasn't really too sure who was getting targeted there. So I kind of held the shield, and when the Gazlo separated from me, I realized it was him, and I kind of take the blame for him dying on that one. I should have been able to shield him through that, but I didn't react quick enough. Here, I'm just speeding my team ahead of the Punisher. Kind of look like an idiot going up against that wall for no reason. I see the Karazim coming, so I tried to boop him back a little more up than to the side. Again, trying to keep the Uther off our Nova over there. Kill Jerk. Here I back out a little bit after getting the Kalthus shit on me. There I tried to save myself with the shield. Rather than run it out, I just tried to shield my way through it. And I was cursed my metal body. I was not fast enough. So the final tally. There's my 95k healing to their 64 and 36. So I didn't wind up down the stretch out healing both of them, but it is ridiculously close. And if we compare the other stats, I had 8 direct kills. They had 6. I contributed to 20 of my team's kills. They went for basically 12. Only died twice. They died 7 and 5. Offensively, their Uther and Karazim did way more siege than me. However, my hero damage is fairly close to Karazim's. And I'm sure Karazim went offensive stuff. So, that's the power of Lucio. The Anub was considered the MVP. Fuck you, I was the MVP. But, haha. That's a really good Lucio match for you guys. That's that build that I was talking about in my last video. I'm glad I got to show it to you guys and show you the power of it and just how well it does. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Take care.